Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion.
I was trying to push you over.
I know, I was afraid I was going to fall and hurt myself. What's the topic, Bob?
Well, apparently, according to you, we're going to talk about falls and balance.
Right. As a matter of fact, I was just up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and took a continuing ed and got a lot of good information on falls, and particularly falls with older people, because as we all probably could figure out, the older people fall more. As a matter, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, very interesting. I know this may seem strange to people that we go to courses on falls. I mean, I went to one on falls also years ago, and we just had the people in the audience raise their hand. How many people have fallen in the last year? And this is a lot of people my age and younger even.
Sure.
And I would say 2/3 of the audience raised their hands. Now, of course, this includes falling outside too on the ice, but it's amazing how many people do fall.
Right.
So.
Now these numbers account for falls outside, falls inside, so
Right.
it's the big picture of falls, and 65% of all injuries occur in people from falls occur after age 65. So if you turn 65 years old and older, there's 33% chance you're going to fall. Whether or not you get hurt or not is another story. We don't have that stats, but they're coming up here. And then more than 1/3 of adults over 65 fall. So that, those correlate together.
Sure.
Okay. Now, as far as the injuries and the recovery rate, this is an interesting statistic. Almost 50% never fully recover. So people over 65 years old, 1/3 of them are going to fall. 50% of that third do not fully recover. Okay, that doesn't mean they're bedridden, but they're either using a cane or there's some kind of long-term
It
deficit.
doesn't surprise me either, because a lot of times a fall kind of sends people down the cliff. Rolling down the hill.
Right.
That taxes their system, the whole fall issue, and then all of a sudden the other things start to go wrong.
You bet.
And so it really is something you want to prevent.
Right, and people might wonder, well, if you fall, particularly if you fracture a bone or you have to go non-weight bearing, you've got a notable bruise, something that takes you off your feet for more than a few days or a couple of 4 weeks, you get so much weaker, your system doesn't work as well anymore, then this thing starts to snowball, and that's where the problems.
And I've definitely seen people that have died because of the initial fall. I mean,
Yeah.
not they didn't die that day,
Right.
but they died later on because of the sequelae of
A few weeks into the rehab, they were already compromised, but because they were moving around, exercising, they were maintaining their health.
Right.
Without that movement, things start to fall, especially with diabetes and those types of other compromising issues. Another interesting statistic, if you take 4 or more medications, that also notably increases your risk for falls.
Not surprising.
So there's always side effects with not always, typically side effects with medications, and they can affect your balance. As you know, in some of our other videos, we talk about balance is not just your strength, but it's your vision, your vestibular system in your ears, and those all can have side effects from your meds. So how can we work with these falls, and how can you avoid being one of these statistics?
This is a big question, and not only important for us, who we're both 50 and over, but also for our parents.
Sure, you bet.
And if you are, by the way, our age or older, you're going to want to subscribe to us, because we cover things to make you healthy and stay fit and healthy way into the elderly years.
You better believe it.
All right, so Brad, how are we going to stop this?
Okay, exercises you can do. You don't have to go to a fitness gym. I mean, that's a good idea, but if you want to just do some simple things in your house, you want to do exercises that you're on your feet. Okay, so weight-bearing exercises, so you're working that balance. Okay, one thing you can do is, and you can do this at the cupboard, your hands at the cupboard, and simply do some squats.
Kind of at a countertop here, Brad?
Right, if this is your countertop, so you should feel stable with this. If you're doing this and you already feel wobbly, it's not a good exercise. You're going to do 10 to 15 of these.
This is such a simple one, but it's recommended. I've seen it recommended by anybody who wants to try to prevent falls. Because you got to increase that strength.
Right. Again, these are people probably 60 or older. You know, if you're 45 years old, you're probably not in this category. So that's what these exercises are for. Another one I really like to use with people is, can you go down into my feet? This is a nice one. You're going to work your ankle strength, which is important for your balance, is your toe up, and then go up on your heel, up on your toes like this, and then back on your heels. You're gonna rock back and forth like that, well supported with your hands, so you do not.
A great amount of your balance comes from your ankles and your hips.
Right, you bet.
And so you really want to concentrate on those. The first one we did, the squats, that was getting your hips.
Yep, more in the hips.
More, and some knees too, of course, and the ankles, but it really concentrated on the hips, and now this one is getting the ankles.
You better believe it. All right.
I will believe it, Brad. What else you got?
Oh, I like this one. For balance, you can put your hands up on the cupboard, put your fingertips up, and if you can stand on one leg relatively easily for 5 seconds, you can do this. Okay, if you do like this and you're trying to work on your balance on one foot, it's just real hard to do. It's too advanced, you should go back to the other exercise. But just balancing on one foot and keeping good posture and try to hold that for 30 seconds will strengthen your ankles, strengthen your core because you're trying to keep tight here, and you're working your balance all at the same time.
I saw a recommendation, Brad, and this is again for someone who has fairly decent balance now and just wants to maintain it. But they said every time you go on the phone, is that what you do? You should
stand on,
stand on one foot and then maybe reverse.
Sure.
The other one is brushing your teeth. Brush your teeth.
You can play a little game like that.
But it's a daily reminder to work on it.
Sure.
And it's not taking away any time from your day.
Exactly.
You brush your teeth and
yeah, that'd be fun. I haven't done that.
They could add that one.
Oh,
then we find Brad will fall over from brushing his teeth.
So falls, you can do something about it. Remember,
3 simple exercises.
Right. Remember, if you're 65 or over, you got parents, you should really have them watch this so they can do some of these things, and so you don't get that call in the middle of the night and find out your mother or father has been laying on the floor from a fall, because that happens.
Exactly.
So it's a serious subject, and take what you can, and we'll help you out as much as we can. Adios.
Good luck.